Greetings. Okay, so for this tutorial, we're going to talk about Frame and how we can enhance learning experiences and teaching experiences using VR and immersive learning and this specific platform. So, first of all, one of the things that we can do to make sure our spaces are safe and students are the only ones that have access to it's include a password in our frame. Yes, when we set it we can just modify it in the settings, for example here. Yes, to change the permissions, like in this case I have a password, so any other person who is going to access to the link, it's not going to be able to unless they have the password. It could also like it has over permissions over measurements that you can also use to make sure only your students are able to access. Like for example, requiring emails, adding specific members, because you can also change the or put at yes the people who will have access to, so other people won't be there. Okay. Okay, so let's get in. I already logged in my session, so I will have access here for this. So the configuration of the setting it's already on for the microphones, but I could also modify these things too. And we can use the edition tool, yes, to add or change anything around. This includes also the fact, not just elements, but also things like avatars. We can add, and this is one of the plus, like the biggest plus here. We can add or have AI avatars that will be able to interact with our students depending of what we want them to do. For example, this one it's focused on specifically talking with my participants in a course for teachers, language teachers. So what they will do is after checking, like they will go around the room, check all the material, and check, like listen to the audios and so on. And after that, they could be able to, or even before that, they could just go to the AI bot and interact, asking questions, providing examples, or requiring over or asking for examples, activities, or any other thing, but according to that specific teaching context they have. Why? Because that is what I put in the instructions. Yeah, I can also change the personality traits to make sure the the avatar will behave in a specific way as I need it for the conversation. Yes, for example, I could have an avatar that could act as a mechanic, or I could have an avatar that acts as a real estate agent. So what that person would do is sell a house, but it I could say, or I could add in the traits as a trait that the person is rude, or the person is very insistent or persuasive. And even if if I want them to do very specific or to keep the conversation just in one focus, I can put it also in the prompt. Something cool, something wonderful here is that you can also edit the knowledge, like the information where they come, like all they will discuss about or they will talk or interact about, will be limited or not to certain information. In this case, will be the information I already provided in a doc file, which is the one that will be present in the room, and also some videos, YouTube videos that I had for my students related with specific examples of how these concepts were applied. Yes. So how to create that? How do we create that? We just click on the create section and then we create an agent. Yes, and click here, and then you will do the whole process for it. Okay, so let's continue then, because this is just one of the things. Like this is something I love the most. Like I think this is the thing that I love the most, because you can have, for example, at a restaurant, and then an agent who will act as a I don't know, waiter, for example. But you can have over different types of things. For example, this is a video that I created with AI, and then what I did was inserted here, like uploaded here. So you can just change the names of the elements to make sure it doesn't get confused. You can lock the position to make sure it's not going to be moved by anyone, another editor, or by yourself by on accident, by an accident, and also decide if you are going to have the video in loop, like it will keep playing or not. Okay. Um, Again, you go to the creation section, you click on a video, image, 3D model. It depends on what you want specifically to have here. Okay, so I also added here, for example, some instructions about how you can talk to the bot. Yes, and because this is a longer text, you can just scroll down. Okay, same here. You can add websites. Yes, like for example, this one was a Kahoot, but this challenge was it's already over, so that's why you cannot, like we are not seeing the in the screen like the option to put the name and play. But if they want to, they can play it here. Okay, let's just click here, so I will be able to interact with the website. Like this is the podium, the people who play, and it's just like having a normal website. Yes, if I was sharing the screen or something. So I can zoom it and I will have the website. Okay, let's continue. So you can upload pictures. Yes. You can also upload files, as for example this one. This is a PDF with all the information like, oh, you need to download the thing, you have it here. And I put it in a way that they could, like if, in this case, they could not download it, but because they have already access to it on Moodle. But if not, they could just you know download it here. I could activate it also. I could activate an option to link it with something else. Okay, let's move. Okay, let me see if I can mute this. Okay, perfect. Okay, wait a minute. Skip animation. Okay, done. Uh-huh. Besides pictures, besides the texts, I can also record audios and upload them here. Yeah, for example, this one explaining a concept, some ideas.
¿Han usado alguna herramienta?
Yes. And again, what you do is you go to creation menu and you click, you select specifically what you need, an audio. Yes. And then you will get, okay, wait a minute. You will get a tab where you could upload the audio. Okay. The same happens with pictures. The same, like it opens another window, small window to just upload the thing. Okay, so you can move the things around if you need to. For example, this one I'm going to unlock the thing. So you will have these errors, and what you have to do is just move them to the sides depending on what you want to. If you want to facilitate things and make sure that they are hanging on the wall, what you do is snap to surface or on the floor. It works also on the floor. To snap to surface, and then you click where you want it, and then you move it. That's Let's lock it again. So this works perfectly for different things. It depends on what you want to have. Like for example, this one is a text that will be too small for students, so I activated here the option to submit. Yes, to make sure they could check all the information there. But if they click it, okay, let me deactivate here. If they click it, they could see it here, some zoom in or the lock. And let's zoom in. Yeah, zoom out. Click again. Let's do it. You can download it. How? Edit mode. You upload the file, and then you just activate the options you consider. There are other things we can do too. Um, for example, you can have voice sections, so you can have different groups working on different activities. and have during like through the room, throughout the room, around the room, different questions or tasks, and each group could work and talk by themselves without having others listening to them. Okay, this is another example. Yes, you can share a webcam, you can share a screen if you need to. You just click here, yes, and you have the option to do it. You will get a small window saying like what do you want to share. For example, I want to share the instructions right now, this tab. So I select the tab, it's loading in this moment. So as soon as it's done, you will have it here. Another thing is that you can also activate the option for the students to edit and move things. So you can have in the settings like the here frame settings, permissions. Not only that, they can enter people that are just guests, but also people that are not admins can edit. Yes, like only the things they had there, or if you want to have other students to edit and add and move and so on. Okay, let's stop sharing. You can also share a screen. You can have the webcams here, not only have microphones, so it would be like being in a video call, but with avatars moving around. Yes. So this one is a whiteboard. So in this case, like you have options here. Let me edit it so we can see it better. Whiteboard because it doesn't have a name. Okay, so let's unlock it, snap to surface, unlock it again. So here I could just start drawing. Okay, let me click on a color and play maybe charades or Pictionary with student. Oh, it's an angel. Yes, correct. Oh, it's a bird. Well, in this case, not so much. Yeah, you can do different things here depending on what the students want. So this also allowed us to create different games for them inside the classroom. Okay, let's switch to another frame. Okay, my frames. Let's go to this one. This one has a little bit more things. So let's see. Okay, so this is the other frame. Okay, I get in. You will see this is bigger. This room is bigger. So in this case, got here a picture, yes, of a game, yes, a board game here that we can have with our students. This is the 3D model of a dice. So the thing here is that when they open, like when they click on here, they will have a link. You can also do it. So that way they could get a dice, an online dice to play in the activity. Okay? So let's say no because we're not going to get in. But I want to do it to show you how it looks like. Okay, let me see. Okay, you can also move it a little bit. Ah, done. So here, um, okay, what you do is that you go to the section that says add a link and then you select where you want it to go. If you want to move to a different place, what you do is click on frame link or scene. If not, just select something else. Okay? And how do we create 3D models or how do we add them? We just go to the creation section and then I select 3D model. I could just upload something that I get on Sketchfab or on any other website with these formats, or I just can try to open here one of these places. Like for example, here Sketchfab is my favorite one. It has lots of things, free things that I can get. So I just click on the tab and then I look for something. In this case, I want, let's see, cat. I'm going to get a cat for an activity with my students. Okay, let's see. I want something. Oh, a chair. Ha, cat girl. Let's see. There are not many options for cats. Let's go with this one. It's a little bit low quality, but it's cute. It reminds me Havo. Okay, so I need to log in. I open my session here. Give me a minute. Okay, so the session is done. Oh, then I can add it. So yes, please add more. And as soon as the model is done, I can click edit it, like make it bigger, smaller. Yes. Let's see. Okay, we see it there. Okay, I want it on the floor, so I'm going to snap the floor. If I want to keep the original size, I can do it too. If not, I just move it to any side. Okay, this is a good place to be. So locked position because I don't want it to move again. This is okay. If want my students to download it, yes, no. I want it to spin, yes, no. And what am I going to do? What a link? A link to where? Oh, to a website about cats, for example. A notification. Yes, like oh, to get something there. Like it depends. Yes, what you want to do with your students, you can play with this a little bit. In my case, I have only done it to motive, like to give like l- links to specific places. Okay, so this is an example of the boys chat, the boys section. So you can have just one student here, yes, and the student, yes, this is a boys zone. The students who are inside this place will be able to talk without listening to the others outside. Yes, or the others outside won't be able to listen to the ones who are here. Okay, let's see. So this is the boys zone. Okay, I hear. So, for example, the people here can talk about something, while the people here in another activity they can just focus on this one, which is Pictionary. Yes, so they could play without without being interrupted by someone else. Same with the ones who are here. Yes, they can have discussions. The same with any other voice sound that I have. Okay, let's go with this one. This is a 3D model too. Yeah, so in this case, what they're supposed to do is name for parts of the computer. So what I did for this one is that I made some changes with the size. Yes, to make sure it would be easier for them to see the whole thing. So I can play a little bit with this too in this area, like the scale. Yes, how big, how small. I can change this here. Okay, so I want my students to name the parts. They can also do it if I gave them the permission to add things. I can give them the permission to do it by adding, for example, text, and I can say text area. Yes, they are different. In the text area, they're going to say okay, text area, mouse. So that's the one. Mouse. The background with no background, white background. Yeah, and the text is going to be, I don't know, blue, for example. So I'm going to change the size for this. Okay, let me close this part and center. And then this is going to be smaller because I don't want something that big. Let's use the hours here. Where is the mouse? So I do this. That's it. So they already named one of the parts. Okay, the mouse. Okay, let's delete it. Yes. And just like this, you can create many other things. There are so many possibilities when it comes to these kind of tools. The thing is that, for example, here we're talking about a little bit more grammatical activities in a funnier way, but you can also take an approach that is more communicative, like having a restaurant where they can interact with the waiter. Yes, so you don't have to limitate to one specific role. So it doesn't have to be just a replacement or an augmentation, which happens in some of these tasks. You can have students work in something more meaningful, and that would be more focused on the um, modification or even the my god, the modification and the redefinition levels. Yep. It's up to you and how you use it, how you plan the activity, and what you create for them, considering all the features, all the possibilities there, and what your students need, especially that what your students need and what they have in terms of access to internet, in terms of devices. Like one of the things is that you can use this with phones. It's not as comfortable, but you could. But in the case of students who have not who live in a low connectivity context, it could be possible, but it's not as good as but it's easier to work here than in other platforms like spatial, which will be heavier for them. Their computers will need more or will require more resources, so it's a good alternative. But again, it depends on the context, the teaching context, the goals, those instructional needs, the strategies, methods, and so on that you want to or you're planning to work with. Thank you.